Hello, friends, traders, and investors. It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. Today's a recap for Monday, May 3rd. Hope you had a fantastic weekend, and it's a beginning of a new week, a new month. So, first trading day today in May, and we're going to be discussing the topic of whether or not we should be selling in May and going away, and what my thoughts are on that. And we'll look at a few other news and events on the day today. We'll look at the broader market and some charting. I'll put some timestamps in the description below. But before we jump in, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. So sell in May and go away. On the first day of trading, we saw a fairly significant start to the day and strong start to the day. And then we saw some weakness into the end of the day. So we'll look at the chart on the S&P 500 in just a moment and whether or not that's anything to worry about. So another article here, why investors should ignore the old Wall Street sell in May, go away rhyme. And I found this pretty funny. Wall Street says sell in May and go away refers to the period between May and October when the market sees average underperforms the prior 6 months on average. But strategists say that does not mean investors should get out of the market in May and come back at the end of the year. Every year is different, obviously. Any investment strategy that you can summarize in a rhyme is probably a bad strategy. I agree. But one technician thinks the market has found a top, and that means May and several months could be difficult. And I agree, the market is struggling to ascend higher, but it's also not seeing a whole lot of bearish activity either. So we're just kind of in limbo mode here right now, in equilibrium, trying to find out where this market is going to go. So we'll be watching at those trends, and we'll be looking at those trends to see where to go from here. And the trend is your friend, so we'll bring up the chart on that in a moment. Warren Buffett also sounding the alarm, says Berkshire Hathaway is seeing very substantial inflation and raising prices. So sounding the alarm here, and his colleague Charlie Munger, not super bullish or just not appreciative at all of Bitcoin, and had some pretty negative things to say, calling it disgusting and just creating things out of thin air. But I don't really understand the argument, because we're printing dollars endlessly, and we're printing dollars out of thin air and creating inflation, and it's not backed by anything like the gold standard in 1971 when Nixon removed us from that. So how's that any different from printing dollars out of thin air? Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. So in other news, Florida Governor DeSantis suspends all remaining restrictions, says we are no longer in a state of emergency. So how long is it going to be? 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days before, the cases are surging again, we're going to have to lock down. So I don't really get it. The second you're no longer in a state of emergency, why you suspend the restrictions, I don't get it. But I'm not going to get political on this channel, but hopefully this is turning a corner in that regard. Calgary home sales up 462%. That is a new record high in April, as per CREB. Verizon to sell media business including Yahoo and AOL to Apollo for $5 billion. Also, Wealthsimple valued at $5 billion as Drake joins the star-studded financing. So Canada's Wealthsimple, no fee, commission-free trading platform. You can also buy crypto on there as well. So just Ethereum and Bitcoin at the moment. Also, the UFC is now a publicly traded company. So we'll look at that ticker here. Had some of the biggest gains on the day today on my watch list. That's ticker symbol EDR. And I think this is going to do really well long term. But personally, I don't own any at the moment. Let me know in the comments below if you picked this stock up at any point in the last few days since it began trading. Also, Ethereum hits $3,000 US as Bitcoin's crypto dominance declines, and we see altcoins raise and gain a lot of momentum and attention here. Ethereum new all-time highs. We have an all-time high here at 33.45, and it's just been all bulls, clear lead bull in the crypto space. So we'll be watching to see when Ethereum does cool off and sees significant consolidation, whether or not Bitcoin is pulling back as well. If so, then we'll likely see the entire market pull back. But if Bitcoin goes sideways and Ethereum pulls back, that could give way for altcoins to run. So again, we'll be watching that correlation going into tomorrow and the rest of the week. But it's time to start being cautious on Ethereum. We are daily overbought now, and we haven't seen a daily higher low since all the way back here at 2040. So from current levels, we could drop about 30 to 40% and still be in a daily uptrend, just looking for a daily higher low. So we're now going on 10 days in a row with a higher low every candle. So as soon as we lose the low of the previous day, daily consolidation will be underway. So with about 3 hours and 40 minutes left of this candle, doesn't look like we're going to break the low of yesterday. So we'll be watching the low of today. It doesn't mean we can't. Seen stranger things happen, but we'll be watching the low of today, 29.52, into tomorrow. If we lose that, daily consolidation will be underway, and we'll look for a potential higher low somewhere around the EMAs, around 2750, 2500. But again, anything over 2040 is a higher low. And Dogecoin had the Saturday Night Live skit and back over 40 cents, getting close to 43 and 45 resistance. So we'll be watching. This is just absolutely insanity. But congrats to any bulls. Been saying for a while now that we've seen a lot of bullish evidence, and I mentioned in the group last week that we could potentially see further upside in Doge, but it's time to start being cautious, as this could be one or two final last pushes to pawn off on retail. Everybody and people that I know that never talk about crypto are talking about Dogecoin. So that's generally the point where you want to run for the hills, so to speak. So taking a look at SPY on the daily time frame. So we did break the high of on Friday, but we were seeing notable sell volume here. But today, a little bit of decline in sell volume, but we are cooling off the RSIs here on the daily as well. We're still maintaining the daily uptrend. So this sell in May and go away narrative is not going to have any weight to it, in my opinion, as long as we maintain the daily uptrend and the weekly uptrend. Weekly uptrend is going to be the most important factor. We have a weekly higher low here at 283.90 and 371.88. Long ways away from even testing EMA 12 down at 403. We also have a gap in the chart here at 467. So EMA 12 has been holding since this low, this weekly higher low at 383.90. So we'll be watching EMA 12. If we do lose the low of the day today at 417.67 tomorrow, daily consolidation will be underway, and it's entirely possible closing near the low of the day and seeing a fairly weak close into the end of the day. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw daily consolidation tomorrow and a potential test of EMA 12 there around 415.91. If we do lose EMA 12, we'll be looking down to EMA 26, which also lines up perfectly with our daily support level at 410.59. Again, if we see a pullback from here, I would expect us to hold that daily support, as we have EMA 26 there as well. And like I said, at least on the first attempt, maybe we test support and then set a lower high and then a confirmed daily downtrend. That's one scenario I could see playing out, but I suspect that will be strong support. And again, news can change that. But as long as we maintain this daily uptrend, this sell in May go away narrative has absolutely no weight to it, in my opinion. And even if we do lose the daily uptrend, it's all about the weekly uptrend. So in my opinion, I'm not going to be exiting any real bull positions. I'm hedging with SPXS and SQQQ, but I'm not going to get extremely concerned as long as we maintain the weekly uptrend. If we lose the daily uptrend, that'll be one red flag, and I'll start paying a lot more attention to SPY and the S&P 500 and its pattern, and then I'll be looking at weekly. And if we lose weekly supports, then we can expect to potentially see some significant consolidation over the next few months. But just going based off an article or that old rhyme of sell in May and go away is just, it's not an investment strategy like they say. And just paying attention to the trend. Trend is your friend. And we'll be monitoring that into the rest of the week and all of this month. So the dollar bouncing on the daily, saw a new higher high today, but topping out just under EMA 26. So we'll see if this is all the bounce that the bulls can muster up. But bulls are hoping for as big of a bounce as possible to allow us to form a higher low and attempt a daily trend change. But if you're bullish on stocks, crypto, and metals, you want to see the dollar weakening. And there's no signs of any reversal just yet. IWM, daily inside bar. QQQ was weak today, down over 0.5%, closed near the low of the day. Daily consolidation mode. We've got support there at 333.97. And that will be the most important. If we lose that level, we lose the daily uptrend. And again, QQQ, we've been saying for a while, has been one of the weaker sectors. SMH as well, down over 1% today, losing its support at 241.15. And the chip shortage likely playing a big factor in that. EMA 12 and 26 bear cross potentially lining up as well, so that implies we could see further downside. And we've got a lack of support down to 224.41. And in retrospect, nice double top here at 258.59, 257.54, knowing now that the chip shortage and that double top, that would have been a great double top entry with a stop above 259. So you could have set your stop above 259, go short, and it'd already be down about 7%, and still looks like a lot more downside could be potentially in the cards, and increasing bear volume here as well. Looks like it could be heading to daily oversold. TAN, the solar sector, was down 1.25% today. So again, weak, consolidating now for the last 4 days. US oil had a decent day today. Still got about an hour and a half left, but started daily consolidation and nice bounce there and hold of the EMA 12. Silver, nice day today with a new daily higher high, holding the daily uptrend, almost confirmed a daily downtrend, but bulls held support. Had a little bit of a bull trap there and fake out, or bear trap, and bulls saved it perfectly. And here we are into a higher high, breaking 26.64. Gold, we essentially double top 1797 resistance. We got 1798, so need to be watching out for a potential double top, but holding the EMA 12 and 26 as well. Didn't close a candle below EMA 12 and 26 as well. We just barely lost it, but ultimately ended up closing above it. And gold and silver are looking good. XBI, biotech sector, was weak today, closed at the low of the day. Daily consolidation, lost EMAs, closed below the EMAs, and no support down to 125.90. XLE, the energy sector, was up over 2.75% today, closed at the high of the day. So again, seeing some rotation, and not surprising with the strength in oil today. But it's a potential daily trend change attempt here with a higher low. So if we break 51.29, we're going to have a daily uptrend confirm, and seeing a lot of bullish momentum in oil. A lot of analysts are saying that $80 oil could be in the cards with a lot of the pent-up demand for travel, etc. in heading into the summer. Financial sector, new all-time high today, but need to be cautious here as well. We have a higher low for the last 7 trading days and no support down to 34.42, coming off a new all-time high. So we'll be watching for a potential rotation out of the financial sector into other sectors. If we do see some weakness, and XLV, the healthcare sector, right on cue today, one of the major reasons why the S&P 500 didn't see any significant consolidation today, because we finally stopped the bleeding. We held EMA 12, closed near the high of the day, which is opposite to the tech sector. So if we do see weakness in XLV tomorrow, we'll be watching to see if whether or not that rotation is continuing into the tech sector. So once again, just taking a look at SPY on the sell in May and go away narrative. As long as we maintain above 400, in my opinion, that's extremely bullish. We have the 10-week moving average there at 404.22. We do have the stochastic crossing bearish, so that's a little bit of a heads up to be on the lookout for. And the MACD is also potentially curling bearish here, but we'll have to see how we close the week. But as long as we maintain above 400, in my opinion, we are extremely bullish, and this sell in May, go away narrative will have zero merit, in my opinion. The weekly 50 weekly moving average down at 356, which is a long ways away. And a lot of analysts also saying that SPY could be potentially due for a 10% pullback, and that would bring us to that gap fill here at 467. We also have the 50-day moving average, which we have yet to test since all the way back at the end of March. So if we did pull back to around the 400 level on SPY, that would likely be about a 10% pullback. 4%, 5%. So if we use the top of this move, you're looking at about 5%. So some analysts saying that we could pull back 10%, so saying that we could potentially test the 378 area, and that would bring us back down to weekly support And I could definitely see that happening. We are getting extended here again, not seeing much follow through to the upside. And again, the 5 daily moving average all the way down at 399. Good thing the video is almost over as my computer's about to die. Traveling at the moment. So that's that. Weekly VWAP on SPY down at 375 as well. So again, it's time to start being cautious. So EDR, Endeavor Group Holdings, which is the owner of USC, public company. So 3 days in a row with a higher high. And on the hourly, we are now hourly overbought. So I'd be watching for an entry here. But a long-term entry, I'd like to get it somewhere around hourly oversold. But potentially interested in an entry around $25, maybe sub 25, but this is a name I'm definitely bullish on long-term. Gold, another company that I'm bullish on long-term, Barrick Gold Corporation. Warren Buffett really likes this company as well, but I've got an average on this stock at around $19. So I was entering back here on this significant pullback when gold was testing weekly support. Physical gold or spot gold, that is, not the ticker gold, and we were pulling back. I think we also tested the 200-day moving average and was scaling in, and this is a long-term hold for me. TAP, Molson Coors, also seeing a nice strong day today, getting over resistance. We had resistance at 56.10, closed above it, closed near the high of the day. Molson Coors has been extremely strong since the lows here at 32. We had essentially a double bottom there. And we have resistance up at 61.94 that we'll be watching from here. On the bear list, we had SPCE, NEXE, and GME. So going to end it there. And we'll see you a little bit later on for a MJ sector review. Best of luck going into tomorrow. And again, if you could smash the like and subscribe to the channel, I would appreciate it. And we'll continue to monitor this sell in May and go away. But again, it's not going to have any real weight behind it unless we start to lose daily uptrends and weekly uptrends on the S&P 500, in my opinion. With that, thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for a daily market recap. And we'll see you a little bit later on for an MJ sector review.